What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you today with more Danmachi. Today we're going to be talking about Grand War Boss 1-5. Words are hard. And I'm going to use a team here that's a little peculiar, but follow me, this team is actually to be really, really, really respectable. And the whole point of this team is keeping Ray alive. Ray is going to be a very valuable part of this team. Also, worth noting, Ray is... I just realized I did something silly here. I'm going to change this over real quick. Bam. That will help this team out a lot. Now, you will notice that we've debuffed... wind. We've debuffed wind and we've debuffed magic a lot. This Ryu is a physical Ryu, but she's a lot older. Though she is a dragon killer. That said, she doesn't really have the stats that I'm looking for. Her stats are good, not great, like the new Haruhime's are. So, while she is maximum broken, she's a very old unit. And once again, I want to focus here on this in this video on keeping the unit in Ray that we have no bonds whatsoever in, keeping her alive. So, let's go and jump in. And let's talk about this and talk about what kind of situation we're dealing with. Alright? So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and debuff Wind. Wind down 40% is going to be very handy. And I'm going to go ahead and buff the 33% SA gauge charge. Now, Haruhime and Ryu, we're just going to do basic buffs with. That's going to be fine. Health is going to be a little bit of a concern, but if I'm honest, Ray does have an HP regen, so we should be okay in that regard. Now, on turn number 2, this is where we start to get really defensive. Ray has a 40% strength and magic debuff, just like the OG Haruhime, who we have right here. Though we are bringing Haruhime in, we're bringing Haruhime in pretty much just for the heals. That said, there's actually an argument for just keeping RD on the team, but I have the team configured as I do. Realistically, a better build for this team, and I'm going to be honest now that I'm really thinking about it, keeping RD on turn 3, bringing her in turn 3 would have been a little bit better, and then having someone here who debuffs physical, that would help out Ryu a little more. That said, it is what it is. The team is what it is. We're going to move on, and we're going to do our best to keep Ray alive. Now, RD has this physical and magic resist 30%, along with a 35% HP regen, though we already have 35% HP regen. This basically just sets the clock back a little bit. Though that physical and magic resistance buff is going to prevent a lot of incoming damage from causing harm to Ray. Ray's the only one we're really worried about here, but honestly, it's just going to effectively work across the board. Now, so that is a big defensive buff. We also have the 40% debuff, and everybody else is just going to kind of continue with their general debuff stacks. Boom, there we go. And you'll notice now at this point, Ray's pretty much like smooth sailing. We're not taking terrible amounts of damage, and between the HP regen and the heals, we're fine. We're not sweating anything, okay? Now in this turn, Haruhime comes in, and we're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and do her buff replication with a heal. I'm going to go back and do the 33% SA gauge charge. Once again, this is going to set the HP regens back as well, but this also gives Haruhime a little bit more HP regen. It's going to help her out a lot. Everybody else is going to kind of move on to their single target attacks, and so on. This is going to be really straightforward. Boom. Okay. There we go. Now, I'm going to actually build this up to a double SA. I have a very good reason for doing that, and I'll explain. But I'm going to build this up to a double SA, which basically just means I'm going to go back and just do everyone's best attacks. It's going to be pretty straightforward. I don't know why I did her third skill. I didn't need to do her third skill. That was a mistake. Haruhime's third skill is a full MP regen, and I really don't need that yet. I just need to stick with her skill 2. It'll produce a little bit of damage, but it really is more of a debuff. Still, it's just going to help out. I'll explain why I'm using her here in a moment. You'll find out. Most of you probably have already figured it out. Basically, her and Ray are like besties. They're pretty wild when they work together. Unfortunately, I wish that I had a way to back rev my Haruhime to, like, you know, I really thought this was going to be a double SA. It's not. That's alright. That's alright. We're just going to kind of continue anyway. I wish I had a way to back rev her to, like, you know, +2, +3 to see what she would do here. Unfortunately, mine is max limit broken. There's not a lot I can do about that. Ray got hit pretty hard there for a moment. You will notice also that the dragon does have strength and magic buffs. So here's the deal. While Ryu is the dragon killer, and while she hits pretty respectably here, her SA will hit about half as hard as Haruhime's will, just because of how we buffed and debuffed. So I'm going to go ahead and do a double SA with Ray. Now Ray's going to give everyone magic 90% and wind damage 100%. And then I'm going to hit with Haruhime. Just because Haruhime and Ray together hit stupid hard. I'll show you what I'm talking about. And everyone else just kind of continues doing what they're doing. Now, Ryu would hit here for about 1.4 in the absolute best circumstance, at least that I have her in. If I had debuffed further, she'd still hit a little bit harder. If I had her, like, maxed out, she might hit maybe 1.8, 2 mil with, like, the best RNG possible. But Haruhime, on the other hand, is going to do this. This. It's going to take her a minute. 2.38. That was without a critical. But, I don't know, did that maybe have a crit? Maybe that had a crit. I'm used to seeing the big red letters with the Dragon Killer. But, see, she just hit way harder. Way harder. Like half a mil harder than I would expect Ryu to hit. And then a lot of that just is because this team is pretty much comprised to be a magic wind team. Ryu probably... I could find a better unit to fit here, but I wanted to use a Dragon Killer just so we could finish this up pretty quickly. Now, to be fair, I'm not saying you guys have to use these teams. I'm trying to build the best teams I can to showcase how you should be handling this. But I'm also, like, slightly hindered by the simple fact that I've gone pretty hard in the past year in this game, and frankly, I've wailed and gotten a lot of these units max limit broken. So I'm trying to find units that'll represent the best situation you guys can handle, or you guys can expect to deal with. And in this case, like, the weakest link in the chain is kind of the one we're looking at here, and that is Ray. I want you to focus on what we're doing as far as keeping Ray alive, not necessarily how fast we're killing the dragon. Because this could go on for 20, 30 turns for all it really matters. All you care about is actually beating this. So in this case, being this far into the boss events and having a unit with no bonds that is still surviving and doing fine, frankly. She had one scare, and I think that's just because we got one good penetration on her when the dragon was buffed too. That's the other thing that Haruhime does. She'll actually remove strength and magic buffs, so it's really handy skills just in this unit altogether. Just a really awesome unit to use. Frankly, I adore the Wind team. I really want to max limit break my Ray at some point and just really see what this team can pull out of the gate. But for now, I mean, they're not gonna break any records like the light team or the fire team, but they're definitely gonna handle their own. Boom! Look at that, almost. All right. So, actually, hilariously, I think we're going to get an S-Clear on this beast. Let's give this a shot. Are we going to get the S-Clear? No. We're going to fall just shy. Oh, no. We got it. Excellent. Now, to be fair, let's be honest. I had a maximum broken Dragon Killer and a maximum broken Magic unit that was buffed to basically hell and back. Ray would have helped out a lot more if she was a little bit higher level. But honestly, as you can see, we got our S there. We really don't need to. I'm actually fairly impressed with that. I didn't think we'd do that well. But I guess that's a thing. Surprise, surprise. So there you go, guys. You don't have to have a full maximum broken team even to get the S clear. Now, to be fair, To be fair, my main attackers were max limit broken, but it shows you what happens when you really apply yourself. And to be honest here, that team could have been built a lot better. I'm just holding myself back and trying to not show you like the crazy like wild teams. I'll bring those teams to you and we'll show you what you can build that will just absolutely decimate this. But for right now, I want you guys to get through this and to get your rewards, get your iris, get what will inevitably turn into your 4-star tickets and all that stuff. I want you guys to get the rewards before you start worrying about going crazy on this. But that's the video, guys. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. Like, comment, share. I'll be back at you guys with Boss 1-6 here in just a little bit. And the live stream, guys. Don't forget the live stream tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's probably right around the corner from when this is actually going to get uploaded.